Good day, Nigerians. You are welcome to the program Political Dialogue. Political Dialogue is a program under Liberty Watchtower. As we all know, Liberty Tower is a liberty advocacy group, a group that shows concern about public affairs and good governance. Today on Political Dialogue, we'll be discussing issues that has to do with Nigerian educational system, and we'll be limiting it down to university education. What are the problems, the genesis of the problems Nigeria university systems facing right now? That's what we'll be discussing this morning. There's public perception about Nigerian graduates that they are not employable, and this could be traced back to the substandard university system we have. And we'll be addressing this today with Mr. Samuel Olufeso, who used to be a veteran campus journalist and also a political analyst. All right, we'll be discussing the issue of substandard educational system in Nigeria, which means most of our universities we have in Nigeria today, they are not giving up to standards, and that's why we have graduates that are not employable, and that's the public perception about Nigerian graduates right now. This morning we'll be discussing that with Mr. Samuel. Like I said, Mr. Samuel will be joining us in the studio to discuss these issues. Let's welcome Mr. Samuel and listen to his own opinion on the issue affecting Nigeria educational system.
Yeah, thank you very much. Basically, when we look at the history of university education in Nigeria or tertiary education in Nigeria, dated back to colonial rule, when the colonialists established the University of Ibadan in 1948 and the Yaba College of Technology in 1947. And we should also not forget that it was during the colonial days we have Achimota College in Ghana, and we also have Forabi College in Sierra Leone. But what is more important is when tertiary education was introduced in Nigeria, it was the outdated version of education that was introduced as at that period. So it was the failure of the political elite to revamp the educational system as at independence in 1960, so that the educational system can suit the realities on ground as at that time. But what happened? They didn't do anything, and as a result of that, as at that time, we have foreigners who were teaching in Nigerian tertiary institutions. But after they left, what happened? You have Nigerians taking over Nigeria educational system. And what is more striking is that the way and manner these people were taught in the 60s, in the 70s, and perhaps the early 80s is not the way the contemporary generation is being taught. So if you look at it from different perspectives, one is a product of those who were the earliest beneficiary of tertiary education, and at the same time it is also a failure of government to do the needful, because education itself is not static. Education is dynamic, and you know, when education was introduced in Nigeria, much emphasis is being placed on reading and writing. So till today, the Nigerian education system is not rigorous enough. It is not sophisticated enough. It is not qualitative and quantitative enough, and that is why you have the flow of Nigerian graduates abroad, because they are product of the system, and they know that what they are being given as undergraduates, it is not enough. It is not enough, and it is substandard when you look at it with what you can get anywhere in the world. And as a result of that, people are going abroad to acquire more education, not just more education, but education that suits the realities of the modern world.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel, for that wonderful explanation. I believe you will all listen to Mr. Samuel, his own opinion on that. Now, the second issue we'll be raising on this is as regards to those are the aims of affairs, both academic elites and the political elites. As you know, these are the people that are meant to be upholding the standard of our educational system in Nigeria, especially the vice chancellors in all the universities. But this day we have vice chancellor children schooling abroad. It's as if your parents or your mother selling a food and also sending you to the next street to go and get a food to eat, meaning that what your parent or your mother is selling is poisonous because you cannot eat from it. And that's exactly what the case is now. So most Nigerians don't even believe in the system anymore. People now go out to school abroad, even those that have never been to the four walls of universities. They believe that there's no university in Nigeria because what we have in Nigeria is more or less like abattoir. It's more or less like school in Nigeria. To me, as a graduate, which have passed through the same system, is more or less like school in Nigeria is like academic suicide. So let's also listen to Mr. Samuel as he also give us his own opinion on the reason why people leave the soul of Nigeria to school abroad, even though they don't have the resources. They quest that I wish they could be able to afford schooling outside Nigeria. So then what exactly is the problem going on?
As of today, Nigerian tertiary educational system is tantamount to a mortuary. And what do you have in mortuary? Dead people. Or you can say Nigeria educational system is equivalent to a burial ground or a cemetery. So what do you have in these two places I've mentioned? You have dead people. That means the Nigerian educational system is dead of knowledge. And how do you explain in this 21st century students write programming on papers? I remember when I was in 200 level, a roommate of mine borrowing a course, maybe in computer science, I can't remember, the title of the course is Fortran, and they are writing computer programming on paper in this 21st century. What does that tell you? And this is a university that is supposedly to be the best university in Nigeria. So if you have this kind of madness in an acclaimed best university, so to say, you understand? So what do you get in other schools? So those who are the drivers of the system don't have faith in the system, and that is why you see Nigerian professors, Nigerian vice chancellors taking their children abroad because they don't have faith in the system. And that also tells you that these guys are failures. And what you should also know that these are people who were once beneficiaries of the system, but when they get to the aims of affair, what happens? They cripple the system, they paralyze the system, they collapse the system, and that is what we are getting as of today. So they don't trust the system, and for the fact that you don't trust the system, and you are also part of the system, you know the rot in the system, you know how porous and how filthy the system is. So you cannot allow your children to stay. So since you have the resources to take your children outside of this country, what do? Because you know the system is bad. You know the system is nothing to write home about. So the only thing you can do is that, okay, well, I have the resources, I have everything. Then you take your children, you take your child abroad. And the same thing is also applicable to the political elite. You should also not forget that the political elite were also product of the system, as at the time when the system was okay. But when they get to power, they failed to improve on the quality of education in Nigeria. And for the fact that they don't improve on the quality of education in Nigeria, what happened? They are also taking their children abroad. And away from that, you can also talk about the emergence of private institutions. And these private institutions, some of them are owned by the political elite, and the money they are supposed to use to fund the public institutions, it is being diverted to their own institutions. And since they have what cutting edge technologies, so what happens? The sons and daughters of their friends are going there. So when you are talking about it is the failure of not just the political elite, it is also the product, it is also a failure of the academic elite, because they were also beneficiary of they were once beneficiary of the system, but what happened when they get there, they failed to replicate what was the case while they were students in recent times. Then apart from that, you can even talk of vice chancellors who did their undergraduate studies in Nigeria and they also went abroad for masters and PhD. And that means you are a product of two academic civilizations, or you are a product of two academic cultures. So that means what you've seen abroad is quite different from what is obtainable in your own country. Most of them have failed to replicate most of the things they've seen abroad in their own country. So these things, you understand, it's not just about we blame people in the government, we attribute the blame to people in the government. We also attribute the blame to the giants in the academics or the giants in the academia. So if you see what is nice and you cannot replicate it back in your own country, that means you are also a failure. And that is why you see vice chancellors going abroad to celebrate the convocation of their children, and the pictures are being flaunted on social media. So it is a whole circle of madness. And I think, and based on the fact that you said, do you see any solution inside? My brother, we are far from redemption.
All right, thank you, Mr. Samuel, for that wonderful explanation. As you can listen to Mr. Samuel, in his own opinion, he has given us the reason why Nigerian university system, they are not up to standard. All right, now you can see that the issue we are analyzing this morning is a very critical question that affects every individual, because every household will have at least a graduate who has graduated from one university or the other in Nigeria, and they can also testify to the problem we are also analyzing this morning. So now apart from all these problems we've also explained this morning, what could be the solution, the best solution for us to address these problems? So I also take you back to Mr. Samuel. In his own opinion, what does he think could be the solution to all these problems he has explained? Mr. Samuel, what do you think can be the solution to all the problems we've explained, we've analyzed?
Very much. The way forward is to move forward. If we want to get it right, the state of emergency is needed in the educational system. The government should declare state of emergency. In fact, the Nigerian tertiary institutions, both university, polytechnic colleges, should be closed down for like 3 years, so that the system will be restructured, so that all those garbages you have in the system will be flushed out of the system. There are some people who are not worth to be called academics, but you find them in the academia just because of politics or man or the Nigerian mentality that for you to get something you have to know someone, or you have to know someone who knows someone. Some people are not supposed to be in the academia. So if you are not knowledgeable, how do you impart knowledge? So it goes beyond. Once the state of emergency is being declared, number one, we need new brains in the system. So we want an educational system that will attract people from different civilizations, just like we have in UK, where you have their university that attract people from different parts of the world. But if state of emergency is not declared in the educational system, like I said, Nigeria is still a mug. In fact, the educational system will be more hellish in years to come, and the educational system will only be dishing out morons.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel, for that wonderful explanation. I hope you've listened to Mr. Samuel's solution to Nigeria problem. Now, I know people who have different opinion and people will have different criticism to his own solution. His solution is still subject to criticism, and likewise our own opinion also on Nigeria university system is subject to criticism. You can criticize us. You can send your own contribution to our Gmail, our social media platform, libertywatchtowerzone@gmail.com. Then you join us on Facebook, we search for Liberty Watchtower. Join us on Instagram, on Twitter, as we also present you other programs. We are in Nigeria to ensure that we have a very sanitized system and we have a system that works for all Nigerians. Thank you all.